Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Easy English Beginners.
I am Anna, and I am very happy to be here today. This podcast is for beginners, so please relax and enjoy listening. Today, we will talk about our future plans. Future plans are dreams, hopes, and ideas about our life. I feel excited because thinking about the future makes me smile. Mark is here with me, and we will share our thoughts together.
Hello, Anna. Hello, everyone. I am Mark, and I'm happy to talk with you today. This podcast is friendly and easy, so please listen carefully. Future plans are very important in our life. Sometimes they make us feel happy, and sometimes they make us feel scared. I feel calm and excited at the same time. Anna, I'm ready to start our conversation with you.
When I think about my future, I feel hopeful and excited. I dream about having a happy and simple life. In the future, I want to have a good job that I enjoy. I hope to wake up every day with a smile. Sometimes I feel nervous because the future is not clear, but I tell myself to stay positive and believe in my dreams.
I understand you very well, Anna, and I feel the same way. When I think about my future, I feel many emotions inside. I hope to have a stable job and a comfortable life. I want to feel proud of myself and my work. Sometimes I feel scared because plans can change, but I try to stay strong and think step by step.
Yes, step by step is very important. I do not want everything to happen fast. I want to learn new things and grow slowly. In the future, I want to improve my skills and become more confident. I feel happy when I imagine myself learning something new. Sometimes I feel unsure, but I know it is normal. This makes me feel human and real.
That is a very nice way to think, Anna. I also want to learn more in the future. I plan to read more books and practice new skills. Learning makes me feel alive and motivated. Sometimes I feel lazy, but I push myself forward. I believe small effort every day is very powerful. This idea gives me hope and energy.
I like that idea very much, Mark. Small steps can lead to big dreams. In the future, I want to travel and see new places. Traveling makes me feel free and curious. I imagine myself meeting new people and learning about cultures. Sometimes I feel shy, but I still want to try. Thinking about this makes my heart warm.
Traveling sounds wonderful, Anna, and it makes me smile. In the future, I also want to visit new countries. I want to see the world with open eyes. Traveling helps us understand life better. Sometimes I worry about money and time, but I believe good planning can help. This thought makes me feel calm and positive.
Sometimes I think about my future home and it makes me feel peaceful. I imagine a small, cozy place where I feel safe. I want a home full of light and warm feelings. In my future, I hope to live near nature. Nature makes me feel calm and relaxed. When I feel stressed, I think about this dream. It helps me feel better and more confident.
That sounds very comfortable and nice, Anna. I also think about my future home sometimes. I imagine a clean and quiet place where I can rest. A home is very important for our happiness. I want a place where I can feel relaxed after work. Sometimes I feel tired when I think about the future, but this idea gives me comfort and peace.
Family is also part of my future plans. I want to spend more time with my family. In the future, I hope to help my parents more. Family makes me feel loved and strong. Sometimes life is busy and we forget important people. I feel a little sad when I think about that, so I want to change and be more present.
I feel the same way about family, Anna. Family support is very important in life. In the future, I want to be closer to my family. I want to share meals and talk more with them. These simple moments make me happy. Sometimes I regret not calling them enough. Thinking about the future helps me want to do better.
Friendship is also important in my future plans. I want to keep good friends in my life. Friends make life fun and meaningful. In the future, I hope to meet kind and positive people. Sometimes I feel lonely, and friends help me feel better. I want to be a good friend, too. This thought makes me feel warm and grateful.
Yes, good friends are very special, Anna. I also want to keep strong friendships in the future. Friends help us laugh and feel less alone. In hard times, friends give us support. Sometimes I feel shy to make new friends, but I want to try and be open. Thinking about this makes me feel hopeful and brave.
Sometimes I think about my future self and I feel curious. I wonder what kind of person I will be. I hope I will be kind, calm, and confident. In the future, I want to feel proud of my choices. Sometimes I worry about making mistakes, but I tell myself mistakes help us learn. This thought makes me feel a little calmer.
I like that way of thinking, Anna. I also think about my future self. I hope I will be stronger and wiser. In the future, I want to handle problems better. Sometimes I feel afraid of failure, but I remind myself that failure is part of life. This helps me feel more relaxed and open.
Health is also very important in my future plans. I want to take better care of my body. In the future, I plan to eat healthy food and exercise more. Being healthy helps me feel happy and active. Sometimes I feel tired and lazy, but I know good habits are important. Thinking about health makes me feel responsible.
Yes, health is very important, Anna. I also want to be healthier in the future. I plan to walk more and sleep better. When I feel healthy, I feel more positive. Sometimes stress makes me feel weak, but exercise helps clear my mind. This gives me hope for a better future.
I also think about my future work life. I want a job that makes me feel useful. In the future, I want to help people in some way. Helping others makes me feel happy inside. Sometimes I feel unsure about my skills, but I want to believe in myself more. This idea gives me motivation.
That is a great goal, Anna. I also want my work to have meaning. In the future, I want to feel satisfied after work. I want to know that my work is important. Sometimes work feels stressful and hard, but having a goal makes it easier. Thinking about this makes me feel focused and hopeful.
Now I want to talk more about my plans. In the future, I plan to study more and learn new skills. Learning helps me feel confident and strong. I want to improve my English step by step. Sometimes I feel shy when I speak, but I know practice is important. Thinking about my plan makes me feel motivated.
That is a very good plan, Anna. I also want to improve myself in the future. I plan to learn new skills for my job. This will help me feel more secure. Sometimes studying feels difficult and tiring, but I remind myself why I started. This gives me energy and patience.
I also plan to save more money in the future. Saving money makes me feel safe. I want to be ready for problems and new chances. Sometimes I want to spend money quickly, but I try to control myself. This plan helps me feel more responsible. Thinking about it makes me feel calm.
Saving money is a smart plan, Anna. I also want to manage my money better. In the future, I plan to make a simple budget. This helps me understand my spending. Sometimes money worries make me stressed, but having a plan reduces my stress. This makes me feel relaxed.
Time management is another important goal for me. In the future, I want to use my time better. I do not want to waste time on small things. Sometimes I feel like time moves very fast. This makes me feel worried, but planning my day helps me feel in control.
I understand that feeling, Anna. I also want to use my time wisely. In the future, I plan to wake up earlier. This gives me more time in the morning. Sometimes I feel lazy and sleepy, but good habits help a lot. Thinking about this makes me feel determined.
I also plan to be more positive in the future. I want to think good thoughts every day. Positive thinking helps me feel happy. Sometimes negative thoughts come into my mind, but I try to replace them with hope. This plan helps me feel lighter and stronger.
That is a very healthy plan, Anna. I also want to think more positively. In the future, I plan to focus on solutions, not problems. This helps me stay calm. Sometimes life feels heavy and stressful, but positive thinking changes my mood. This makes me feel thankful and hopeful.
Another plan I have is to travel more in the future. I want to see new places and try new food. Traveling helps me learn about the world. Sometimes I feel afraid to go alone, but I want to be brave and try. Thinking about travel makes me feel excited.
Traveling is a great plan, Anna. I also want to travel in the future. I plan to visit places with history and nature. Traveling helps me relax and feel inspired. Sometimes planning trips feels difficult, but the experience is always worth it. This idea makes me feel happy.
I also want to improve my daily routine. In the future, I plan to wake up early and start my day calmly. A good morning makes the whole day better. Sometimes I wake up late and feel rushed. This makes me feel stressed, so I want to change this habit.
That is a good goal, Anna. I also want a better daily routine. In the future, I plan to limit my phone time. Too much phone use makes me tired. Sometimes I lose time without noticing. This makes me feel disappointed. But I believe small changes can help.
In the future, I want to be more confident when I speak. I want to share my ideas clearly. Sometimes I feel nervous in conversations. This makes my heart beat fast, but practice helps me improve. Thinking about this plan makes me feel hopeful.
Confidence is very important, Anna. I also want to speak more confidently. In the future, I plan to practice speaking every day. This helps me feel prepared. Sometimes fear stops me from talking, but I want to face it. This thought makes me feel brave.
I also plan to take more breaks and rest. Rest is important for my mind and body. Sometimes I work too much and feel tired. This makes me feel weak. In the future, I want balance. This plan makes me feel peaceful.
Rest is very important, Anna. I also want to rest more in the future. I plan to enjoy small moments and relax. Sometimes I forget to stop and breathe. This makes me feel stressed. Thinking about rest helps me feel calm.
I also want to plan my future weekends better. I want to use weekends to rest and enjoy life. Sometimes I waste time and feel regret later. This makes me sad. In the future, I want fun and rest together. This plan makes me feel balanced.
That is a good idea, Anna. I also want better weekends. In the future, I plan to spend weekends with friends or family. This helps me feel connected. Sometimes I stay home and feel bored. This makes me feel lonely, so I want to change that.
In the future, I want to help other people more. Helping others makes me feel useful and kind. I want to volunteer or support friends. Sometimes I feel I cannot do much, but small help is still help. This thought makes me feel warm.
Helping others is very meaningful, Anna. I also want to help more people in the future. I plan to listen better and be kinder. Sometimes life feels busy and selfish. This makes me feel uncomfortable, so I want to change and grow.
In the future, I want to reduce stress in my life. Stress makes me feel tired and unhappy. In the future, I plan to relax more and worry less. Sometimes I think too much. This makes me feel anxious, but calm thinking helps me feel better.
I understand that feeling, Anna. I also want less stress in my life. In the future, I plan to organize my tasks better. This helps me feel in control. Sometimes pressure feels heavy, but planning makes it lighter.
In the future, I want to believe in myself more. Self-belief gives me strength. Sometimes I doubt my abilities. This makes me feel weak. But I'm learning to trust myself. Thinking about this plan makes me feel stronger.
Self-belief is very important, Anna. I also want to trust myself more. In the future, I plan to stop comparing myself to others. Comparing makes me feel sad, but focusing on my own path helps me feel confident. This thought makes me feel free.
When I think about the future, I feel many emotions. Sometimes I feel excited and happy about new chances. I imagine good days and kind people. But sometimes I also feel afraid of the unknown. The future is not always clear. This makes my heart feel nervous. Still, I try to stay hopeful.
I feel the same way, Anna. The future can feel bright and scary at the same time. Sometimes I feel confident about my plans. Other times I feel unsure and worried. Life can change very fast. This makes me feel a little stressed, but I remind myself to stay calm.
I believe the future is something we build every day. Small actions can change our life. This idea makes me feel strong. Even simple habits can help us grow. Sometimes I feel impatient and want fast results, but I try to wait and trust the process. This thought gives me peace.
That is a very good way to think, Anna. I also believe small steps are important. Every day we learn something new. This makes me feel proud of myself. Sometimes I compare myself to others. This makes me feel sad. But I remind myself that everyone has a different path.
Support from others helps me feel better about the future. Talking with friends gives me comfort. I feel less alone when I share my thoughts. Sometimes I keep my worries inside. This makes me feel heavy. But opening my heart helps me relax. This gives me strength.
Yes, support is very important, Anna. Talking with people helps me understand myself better. I feel lighter when I share my feelings. Sometimes I try to handle everything alone. This makes life harder. But asking for help is okay. This makes me feel relieved.
I also feel thankful when I think about the future. I'm thankful for what I have now. Gratitude helps me feel happy. Sometimes I focus too much on problems. This makes me feel negative. But saying thank you changes my mood. This helps me feel positive.
I agree with you, Anna. Being thankful makes the future feel brighter. I try to enjoy the present moment. This helps me feel calm. Sometimes I worry too much about tomorrow. This makes me tired. But focusing on today helps me feel balanced.
When I think about the future, I feel many different emotions. Sometimes I feel excited and full of energy. I imagine good moments and happy days. But sometimes I also feel worried and unsure. The future is not always clear. Still, I try to stay hopeful. This helps me feel stronger inside.
I feel the same way, Anna. The future brings mixed feelings for me, too. Sometimes I feel confident and ready. Other times I feel nervous and afraid of change. Change can be difficult for many people. But I tell myself change can be good. This thought helps me feel calmer.
I think fear is a normal feeling about the future. Everyone feels afraid sometimes. When I feel afraid, I try to talk to someone. Talking helps me feel less alone. I also try to breathe slowly and relax. This makes my heart feel lighter. I feel proud when I face my fear.
That is a good way to handle fear, Anna. When I feel afraid, I try to think about the present. The present moment helps me feel safe. I remind myself that I am doing my best. This makes me feel more confident. Small steps help me move forward. This thought gives me comfort.
Hope is very important for my future plans. Hope gives me energy and strength. When I feel tired, hope helps me continue. I imagine good results from my efforts. This makes me feel positive. Even on bad days, I try to keep hope. Hope makes my future feel brighter.
I agree with you, Anna. Hope is very powerful. It helps me stay motivated and focused. When I think about my goals, I feel hopeful. Hope helps me believe in myself. Even when things are hard, I do not give up. This feeling makes me feel grateful.
I also feel excited about becoming a better person. The future is a chance to grow. I want to learn from my mistakes. This makes me feel open and curious. I do not need to be perfect. I just want to improve little by little. This thought makes me feel relaxed.
That is a very healthy way to think, Anna. I also want to grow as a person. The future gives us many chances. I want to be patient with myself. Sometimes progress is slow, but slow progress is still progress. This idea gives me peace.
When I think about the future, I feel many emotions. Sometimes I feel excited and full of energy. I imagine good moments and happy days. But sometimes I also feel worried and unsure. The future is not always clear. Still, I try to stay hopeful. This helps me feel stronger inside.
I feel the same way, Anna. The future can bring mixed feelings for me, too. Sometimes I feel confident and ready. Other times I feel nervous and afraid of change. Change can be difficult for many people. But I tell myself change can be good. This thought helps me feel calmer.
I think fear is a normal feeling about the future. Everyone feels afraid sometimes. When I feel afraid, I try to talk to someone. Talking helps me feel less alone. I also try to breathe slowly and relax. This makes my heart feel lighter. I feel proud when I face my fear.
That is a good way to handle fear, Anna. When I feel afraid, I try to think about the present. The present moment helps me feel safe. I remind myself that I am doing my best. This makes me feel more confident. Small steps help me move forward. This thought gives me comfort.
Hope is very important for my future plans. Hope gives me energy and strength. When I feel tired, hope helps me continue. I imagine good results from my efforts. This makes me feel positive. Even on bad days, I try to keep hope. Hope makes my future feel brighter.
I agree with you, Anna. Hope is very powerful. It helps me stay motivated and focused. When I think about my goals, I feel hopeful. Hope helps me believe in myself. Even when things are hard, I do not give up. This feeling makes me feel grateful.
I also feel excited about becoming a better person. The future is a chance to grow. I want to learn from my mistakes. This makes me feel open and curious. I do not need to be perfect. I just want to improve little by little. This thought makes me feel relaxed.
That is a very healthy way to think, Anna. I also want to grow as a person. The future gives us many chances. I want to be patient with myself. Sometimes progress is slow, but slow progress is still progress. This idea gives me peace.
When I think about the future, I feel many different emotions. Sometimes I feel excited and full of energy. I imagine good moments and happy days. But sometimes I also feel worried and unsure. The future is not always clear. Still, I try to stay hopeful. This helps me feel stronger inside.
I feel the same way, Anna. The future brings mixed feelings for me, too. Sometimes I feel confident and ready. Other times I feel nervous and afraid of change. Change can be difficult for many people. But I tell myself change can be good. This thought helps me feel calmer.
Now we are near the end of our podcast, and I feel thankful. Talking about the future makes me feel hopeful and calm. I know the future is not perfect, but that is okay. I believe small plans can make big changes. Sometimes I feel scared, but I also feel brave. Thinking about my future gives me strength.
I feel the same way, Anna, and I am happy we talked today. The future can feel scary, but it is also full of chances. Making simple plans helps us feel ready. I believe we do not need to rush. Step by step is enough. This thought makes me feel relaxed and confident.
I want to tell our listeners something important. Do not be afraid of your future plans. It is okay to feel confused sometimes. Everyone feels this way. Try to believe in yourself and your dreams. Even small dreams are valuable. This makes me feel warm and positive.
That is very good advice, Anna. I also want to encourage our listeners. Think about what makes you happy. Make simple plans that fit your life. Do not compare yourself with others. Your journey is special. This idea makes me feel peaceful.
Thank you, Mark, for this kind conversation. I enjoyed sharing my thoughts with you. Talking together makes the future feel less lonely. I feel more confident now. I hope our listeners feel the same. This moment makes me smile.
Thank you too, Anna, and thank you to everyone listening. We are happy you spent time with us today. We hope this podcast helped you think about your future plans. Remember to be kind to yourself. We will see you next time. This makes me feel grateful and hopeful.